Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and I thought today we'd take a look at this Stihl FS40E. Customer said it ran last year, but hasn't had much luck with it this year. If you look outside, it's about 6 inches of snow, so there's no hurry on it, right? And you know, I talk about putting the cart before the horse. I did a video the other day using this when it came in by putting on new string. So hopefully we can get this running. So what are we going to do first, right? First thing is always compression, folks. Where you got to start. It's just a good practice, make it part of what you do when you encounter every machine. It should be a compression test. See if you get fire, good fuel, good air. Those are going to be your main things. All right. Like I tell you folks, you don't need to get this super tight. It's got O-rings in it. So we got it set at 0. So now, let's see if I can reposition this a little bit. And we're almost 90. So 90 should run, right? Not the greatest. It's not what I would like to see out of these. I'd like to see a little higher than that. But it should be enough to get it to run. So let's try spark and see if we get spark. Not that hard, folks. Just take your time. You're not in a race with anybody. And this is the way to learn. So with a spark tester, this one has got the boot style, so it's easier to use the boot style from Tractor Supply or Harbor Freight. Sure, it clicks into there. Oh yeah, she's got good fire. So she got good fire. Not the greatest, so I want to eliminate that spark plug. It may be fine, but I thought it was a little on the wet side, so let me see if I can't get us another spark plug. CMR 6H. So I'm just going to switch it over to a Bosch. You don't have to be super tight on that plug. Alright, so we know we've got compression, we got fire, fuel doesn't smell that bad. something's not right here in this. So let me. Alright, what do we got here? Size is that? 5. 7. That's the one we want. I also want to show you this kit that I just picked up. And it has all the T, you know, from, where is it, T8 right up through to T40. It's got all the different ones, and you can use it in your screwdrivers, in your little impacts that you get. But you know how it is, guy and his tools. Can never have enough tools. And this is how I cheat, folks. Now you see I'm using a 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch on a 1/4 inch, and that will fit these. And that way I'm not putting too much torque. Now what am I doing? I'm taking this apart. For some reason, the choke should be coming up and staying there. And you can't leave it there. It keeps wanting to jump back. So I'm just wondering if there's something not right with that choke. Why isn't it? That should lock in place. Yeah, the throttle's not even hooked up, or it's at least not turning anything. Let's go a little deeper. And if you've watched my other videos on tearing stuff apart, put those as you're tearing them apart, farthest away from you. Something's not right about this carburetor. Whether they've been into it, and I tell you, most of my customers would never admit to being in it to begin with, so good chances are they tried to fix this and they didn't know how it went together. Alright, so what am I missing here? And there's part of the problem. I don't know if I can show you or not, but if you look right down in here, the throttle isn't even attached. So we need to get that fixed. So now I gotta get my trusty needle nose pliers. And I'll tell you folks, most of the time I got a roller chest. But for these videos I'm kind of just going as we go because I want to show you, and I don't feel like I'm under any rush to try to get it out, okay? Other than that, my toolbox is over here, so I'm just reaching instead of going in behind the counter. But for the videos, we can do it this way, right? So see if I can show this in here. Here's the throttle, and the throttle isn't even in place. It's getting kind of hard trying to hold you, and I'll put you back there. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I'll bring this around. Put that down under there. So now let me see if that should be able to squeeze that. Choke. Yep, now it's staying. So let's see if that did anything for us. That pops up, so let's try this. Let's go direct to the source. Oh, I hate these things. Yeah, definitely something's not right with that carburetor. So let's keep going, folks. For some reason I'm not getting any gas to come up when I'm priming it, and that's not good. And the odd part was I couldn't get it to fire up, even on carb cleaner. Let's see. I got on this side. I was trying to get it so that you guys can still see. There's that. Where am I headed today? Put those vice grips on the fuel line so that it's not Alright. That all looks good. We're this far, folks. You know, feel a lot more comfortable tearing it apart so that we know what we've got. Alright. Bring this around. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking the screws out of the area that holds the primer bulb on. have some carburetor cleaner handy. And this is what they call a serviceable carburetor. It does have a high-low jet in it. I mean, the diaphragm looks good in it. Well, this is how you change primer bulbs, folks, is you just pop this off and serviceable carburetor. This is where your different style ends are going to come in handy. This is just a regular, I believe it's that one. And what I want to do is I want to take the jets completely out, all right? And that's what the jets look like. Give them a spray, give them a look over. Then what I want you to do is I want you to take it all the way in until it snugs. You don't want to tighten it, just till it snugs up. Okay, that's the end. So what we want to do is we want to get a starting point, turn it 1 full turn and 1/4. So there's 1 and 1/4. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Between 1 and 2 turns out should give you a starting point of how to adjust that carburetor. All the way in, I want to take it a full turn and a half, 1/4 half is fine. And then let's start putting this back together. For a minute. See, it's not that complicated, folks. It's time consuming. But this is the best way I know of for you to learn, is just to get your hands dirty. I probably could use a little shorter screwdriver, to be honest with you. Okay, so that fuel line is gonna have to be replaced. We'll stop it right there for today.
Fuel gonna leak, is it?
Yeah, I don't know if we could make like something that has a notch, stick a set in and lock the one end down. I got the video going too, so.
Yeah, or just taking,
It's all rubber, so this is coming into pretty handy for doing videos. Tell me, just got a great big huge box.
toolbox.
Yeah.
Another one?
Had a smaller one that he had all his stuff in, and
I thought you bought that $1,000 toolbox.
we ended up swapping the one that he had, which I think was a snap-on, for a Mac box.
Yeah.
And the guy took it even up for his smaller snap-on box for this great big huge.
Mac tool.
So he just took it in on trade. So Rob said with all the specialty tools that he has to have for Ford, he's got to have more room.
No problem. Boy, you start buying off them trucks, man, you can get in deep in a hurry.
Yep.
And it used to be that was the way to go because, I mean, they're guaranteed, everybody guarantees their tools now.
I don't think Craftsman does anymore.
Craftsman's never had a freaking warranty.
Used to you could walk in and they just swap it out.
Must be some down in there.
Yep.
But not impact. I said, if you got an impact, I'll take it. I said, if it's a nut driver, I already got one, I don't need no. And they had them up there for $99. Come with the charger, the battery, everything.
Really?
And the DeWalt, yeah.
And that's where Jeff works?
Yep, I don't know if he's got any, yeah. So all we had to do was take that screw out. Yeah, I don't know if they got any left up there or not.
I'd be interested in one if they did. Just to have down here to work on this crap.
I was gonna, I thought about going to get one, but I said, well.
Because it would fit these, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what it does, it's that quick connector on the end, it's just like the one I got, but it's made by DeWalt. Whoa, look at that baby, can't even see through it.
We're not gonna put it back in. This is what it looks like. It's full. Can't breathe. You can clean them, but we're not gonna put it back in.
Yeah, oh, it is a spark suppressor.
Yeah, spark arrestor.
Yeah. spark out, catches your grass on fire, you just don't have to do it and burn, cutting the grass anymore.
How black that is.
Yeah.
Now she ought to do something. Feed this thing. Go ahead. Back to the channel. My cameraman, which was me, didn't realize that it wasn't being recorded, but I ended up cutting the fuel line on that and putting it back together, and I got it so it would run, but it wouldn't rev up. And so what we ended up doing was tearing the plastic apart and taking the exhaust off to get to the spark arrestor, and it was plug solid. So I had no place to exhaust, so it couldn't rev up. The minute you go to rev, it would die out, alright? But once we got it all back together, see there. Just like brand new.